New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Hi there. Good afternoon. Good morning. Whatever time you're watching this, I hope this is the best moment of the day for you. And so just want to welcome you to Your Doula for Grief. Yes. Hi, my name's Bonnie Gonzalez, and I am a registered nurse, a grief coach, a religious science practitioner, and a licensed soul collage facilitator, all rolled in one. So just welcoming you to the show today. If this is your first time, I say welcome. And if you're returning, I'm truly honored to have you back. So please feel free to just make this time your own, and just really absorb the information. Oh, I love the expression, take what you need and leave the rest. So what I am doing every time that I have the opportunity or are gifted with the time to present this program, my heart's desire is that we just move the needle on discussing grief. You know, loss is what we experience, and grief is what we feel. You know, loss can be, so many things. Of course, yes. Of course, death. There's nothing that will trump that loss. But for some people, some other losses could be loss of health, a surgery, a diagnosis that changes your whole life. Loss is defined by an experience that changes your life, and you can't go back to the way it was before. So relationship losses, job losses, even losses of a hope or a dream, that can put you into grief. And grief is what, as I said, is what we feel. Could be sadness, could be anger, anxiety, fuzziness, or fuzziness, more like foggy thinking, you know, that you really just can't think clearly. So those are just some of the emotions that come up from loss. Those are the emotions that are our grief points. I'll call it that, our grief points. And so just want to be able to start talking about grief freely, knowing that grief is a part of the human experience. It's a vital part of our human experience. And when we can lean into grief, and when I say lean in, what I mean by that is to say, allow yourself to be with that discomfort, to feel that discomfort. And I don't want to talk too much about this until I get my special guest out here. But what I want to do today, and for the next 3 or 4 weeks, have this discussion around holiday grief. And let's get prepared. I don't know about you, but I can't believe that it's already December. And the holidays for us Americans, really, I'll say starts back with Halloween. You get Halloween. We've just had a big celebration of Thanksgiving. And now we've got Hanukkah coming up. We've got Christmas, we've got Kwanzaa, we've got New Year's Eve, we've got New Year's. This is a really compressed time for all of us and can be very stressful times. So I want to discuss that. one more thing before we move into getting our guests out that I wanted to say about grief is that grief needs to be heard. Grief needs to be validated. So know that. And if you're grieving, I just ask that you find people that can hear you, or one person that can hear you. And if you're not grieving yourself, if you know someone who has experienced a loss, be that listening partner for them. So with that said, I just can't wait to really jump into our conversation today. As I said, continuing the theme of holiday grief. Let's get prepared. So my special guest today is Robyn Rice Olmstead. And she's also a religious science practitioner. I'll tell you just a little bit about her. And she and her husband, Reverend Gil, have a program right here on New Thought Media Network, and it's Rockin' the Love, and it's on Wednesdays at 12 noon Pacific time. So you got to check that out. Robyn is a licensed spiritual counselor and coach, and she began her training over 20 years ago with Agape International Spiritual Center in SoCal. I'm in Northern California today. And also through the Centers for Spiritual Living. And Robyn has really collaborated with some of the great master teachers of our day, with which includes Michael Bernard Beckwith, Eric Meisel, and Marianne Williamson, to name a few. Robyn enjoys working with youth and adults, providing a space for deepening self-awareness and personal growth. She feels that it's an honor to witness and usher in transformation. In addition to seeing clients, Robyn also enjoys facilitating workshops. Yes, if she has an upcoming workshop, we'll talk about that. Also enjoys facilitating workshops and public speaking. And she says that she specializes in teaching a variety of topics that lead people to better understanding of self and celebration of life, from empowerment to diversity to spiritual awareness. She also enjoys acting and doing voiceovers, and she loves to travel. So help me welcome to our show today, Robyn Rice Olmstead. And we'll be just sharing. Oh, Robyn, thank you. Thank you for being here today. I'm just so honored.
Thank you for asking.
Yes. Wow, Robyn, this holiday grief, or the holiday, is a big deal for all of us. And just want to ask you, how do you hold this special time?
It's an interesting question, because I think it shifts throughout the years. There's different levels. Like I was listening to you talk about it, and I was thinking, there's something interesting. I know we all have our favorite seasons, but there's something interesting about like going into this season, because I think that there is more what's the words I'm looking for? Like, not responsibility, but there's more things going on about what one should do or how it should be. And there's so many holidays packed together that you're supposed to celebrate and do certain things with and be with family, that it's different than, like, if you like spring or you like summer.
Right. You touch on a really, really good point here, Robyn, when you talk about this time of the year. There are so many unspoken expectations that you live up to, that you follow through, that you, it's like, what is of the term I'm thinking is mandatory enjoyment, when maybe when maybe that's not true.
Right. And mandatory participation. Like, this is when you see your family. This is when you dress up like this. This is when there's a lot of rules.
Right.
That said, I love this time of year. I love like the fall, winter. I love the holidays.
Yes.
And that doesn't necessarily mean they've been, like the most loving times. It's just that for me, there is that illusion that it will be. I always think like Christmas is going to look like that Norman Rockwell painting. Like, we'll all be in our matching pajamas with the cocoa, and everybody will be happy, and So I don't know. There's something about like living into like the illusion or the vision of what you think it should be as well, I think.
Right. And I feel too that a part of this whole illusion that you're saying, and I live under that as well, wanting certain things to happen. But the fact is that we don't talk about the disillusionment or the disenchantment that happens. And I think for me, having that awareness, being able to dialogue or talk to someone about it can truly help. Everything starts with awareness, just being aware that this is not always, I mean, it can be fantastic. You can have the best time ever, but it's not always that way. So in getting prepared for that can be truly vital or instrumental.
Yes, I agree totally with what you're saying. And I just want to add to that it's also vital because I think each time we talk it through, we get more awareness or understanding of what we want or what we need or what we expected or what we didn't get or what we've lost, whatever whatever it is, but it allows it also to lose its power a little bit.
I'll share this for I was a single parent with 4 kids, and it was just Christmas was always a big time, but I found myself being so stressed around Christmas that I really couldn't even enjoy it. I almost found myself being angry that Christmas was coming. And I started to look at why. And for me, it was a financial situation. Just because it was Christmas, I did not get an extra paycheck or a bonus or anything that came in. And so I thought, well, wow, okay, what else can I do? So here's what I did. I made a pact with my kids. I said, it's Christmas, but mommy doesn't get extra money because it's Christmas. So why don't we do this? Whenever you want something, I'll go buy it. And they, like a bicycle in June? It's like, yeah, a bicycle in June. Roller skates in September? It's like, yes, whenever you want something, I'll buy it. It's easier to buy one thing here versus 12 things at once. And they really embraced that. And we started having our Christmas would be going out to the movies and having a great meal. And so that really helped me just de-stress, or I didn't have that angst that would happen with Christmas.
But I think what you're saying is key. I think because you're recreating tradition.
Yes.
You're not ignoring the void. You're filling it in with something else, and you're making it your own. And that I think that's the key is acknowledging and not just letting it go by.
Yes.
I know sometimes I find myself in a place of going, it's the holidays again, and it's like, I don't want to feel that way because really what I feel is like, yay, it's the holidays. And even though I may not be able to be in the kitchen baking cookies for all my friends and having that time, it's like if I can go do exactly what you said and go, well, what can I do? What if I invited my friends over all for one day and we all made cookies or whatever?
Yes. And making that, I love making a new tradition, or this, Robyn, trying something new to see if it works. If it doesn't work, okay, you don't ever have to do it again.
Right.
But to try something new.
Yeah. And I mean, geez, Bonnie, that was incredibly brave of you to tell 4 kids whenever you want something, we'll just go buy it.
Yeah.
You don't live in my house. We would be really broke. I mean, that's amazing. And I mean, but that's good because they learned, it sounds like they learned to decipher what they really wanted or what they wanted to ask for.
Well, Robyn, here's how I say that now. It's like it worked then. I'm not sure if they're not spending lots of money on psychotherapy somewhere because they didn't have Christmas. So, but I've never heard from them that was a big that was a big loss. And then we also embraced Kwanzaa, which gave each night meaning. So we did have that part to celebrate. So I say, thank you, Kwanzaa, for coming about just when I needed it. So, yes.
And I think at the end of the day, what you're saying is that you embraced each other and you embraced the love. And that's really the key, right? I mean, it's not, am I going to get a present under the tree? I mean, it may be, that may be a piece of it. But it's really about that feeling of being loved and having family and people around that and it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of what you go to when you're giving advice about, find someone that can support you, find that friend, find that way, find that thing.
Right. And I was going to also mention, Robyn, I don't know if, and so many people have this, that they're in their family gatherings. There's so much family dynamic, what's the word that I want to use? It's not always harmonious.
Right.
And lots of times that can put people in an emotional state of, agitation, irritation. I don't want to go and be with Uncle Bobby because he always says the wrong things, or Aunt Sally drinks too much. Those kinds of things come up as well that are not always discussed beforehand. Any experiences with that, Robyn? Not everybody has that, but I'm just wondering.
I didn't have any of those serious, like, Uncle Joe's going to get sloppy and whatever. However, there was just the family dynamics. You knew who was going to talk about what or what was going to be brought up. And I was thinking, as you were saying that, I was just likening it to life itself and not only the holiday seasons. And I don't know, my big thing right now is really just amping up the positive and releasing the negative. I'm thinking about Michelle Obama, when they go low, we go high. And I'm thinking, like, how much of that situation could we really change if we didn't preamble our conversation to be, oh, this is going to happen. This is going to happen too. Here we go again. It's like, how can we go into it and love Uncle Joe or and move past Uncle Joe, or give Uncle Joe club soda, whatever we need to do, to really shift the situation.
Yeah. what I've been doing lately, and I know this is not a psychotherapy session, but I've been asking myself lately, why am I so judgmental around those things? Why am I so judgmental of someone else's behavior? Why? It's allowing me to say, ooh, it's always an inside job. It's always an inside job when things really start to cause you angst around the happening of it. It's like, why am I so judgmental around that person or that situation? Another thing too, Robyn, I feel that can help us navigate the holidays is something radical self-care. How does that fit into your schedule? Do you schedule in that kind of self-care?
Yeah. That's a major question.
Mm-hmm.
It is a major question. Are you asking me personally?
Well, we can just get personal, or we can be general. I love it when we speak from our personal experiences, because that is our truth. That is our truth.
I was just going to say, I think radical self-care is something that it really, I'm going to go out here on a limb, but I think it really takes courage to step into that. I think that it's, it's not just like, I don't, anyway, for me, it can't just be anymore like, oh, I got a massage, because I'll get a massage and then go back to doing my work.
Exactly. Or going back to being tense again.
Yeah. And so it's just like, okay, check, but it doesn't really, continue the pattern. So it's like, how do I break the pattern? How do I break the pattern? How do I make it, how do I change it? And I was thinking when you were talking about this holiday season for me, because my husband and I are living apart right now just because of his job. And so I'll be going there for Christmas, and I'll be there for 3 weeks or so. And the rest of our family is coming there. And we just had Thanksgiving with the rest of our family. He came here, and we had with our sister and our godkids, whom I love and adore. And when we're all together, I don't really have time with my husband, because we fall into this normal pattern from when we all live together, and life is just normal. And so I was thinking, well, how do I go and spend 3-4 weeks with everybody and not get to see my husband? So how do I break that cycle? How do I make sure, I have time and that my needs are met and all of those things?
I hear what you're saying, Robyn, because I'm in the same situation. My husband's down in Mexico, and I'm here in California.
Yeah.
And he's going to come up for Christmas. All I really want to do is maybe we could just go to Vegas, just get away from the whole thing. But that's not going to happen.
Right.
So what I realized, just talking about making a plan and being ready on that emotional level is to, okay, well, I really want to go to Vegas. Well, can we have a couple days that we do go somewhere away from everyone else? And yes, we love all our friends and family here, but I know what you're saying about that time together. Even if it's just, you're not even talking, they're reading or I'm watching television, or just energy, being in each other's in each other's essence. That's how I hold it. Just being together.
Yeah.
And what I was going to say is that I could easily slide into resentment. Easily say, oh, I resent this whole. Yeah, it's like, no, I'm going to embrace it. Back to talking about self-care, it ties into this. Self-care, you were talking about a massage. Also adding onto self-care is not having so much on our plates, that it's so exhausting. That we, can you look at your life and see, ooh, can I not do this, or can I move that? What other self-care practices would you embrace, or that you can think of that you do now?
Well, again, speaking about this particular year and this where I am now, I think what I'm constantly reminded of is being able to just speak up and even say what I need.
Oh,
I will go with the flow, like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It'll be fun anyway. Even though it doesn't look like this, it'll be fun. And it's not that I have to control it or whatever, but there are times when it's like, I've found myself in situations like just recently when we were in Lake Tahoe for Thanksgiving, and I didn't go. I didn't want to go somewhere. They were going to the snow and play in the snow and blah blah blah. And I found myself in the car, when everybody was getting out, going, "Why am I here? I don't want to be here. Why didn't I say that?" And I said, "I told you." I did say it actually. I said, "I told you I didn't want to go, and here I am." I was like, but sticking with it, because I go, oh, but I'll just go because everybody wants me to go, and this will happen. Oh, it's okay, And so I don't compromise. It's like if you're feeling something, or if there's something you need, be willing to stand in that place and stick up for it. Try it, If it doesn't, you can make another choice. But I think it's really important to honor what we know or what we feel.
Yes. That is, wow, Robyn, thank you so much for sharing that. I myself know firsthand, personally, of being in situations that you've said, I don't want to do this, but here you are, because I think I lived too a lot from fear of missing out. The fear of missing out. Oh, if I don't go, they're going to have so much fun, and they're going to come back and tell me, and I'll just be so disappointed. But I love what you're saying.
It's easier. I'll just go. It's okay. I'll just do it. Yeah.
Robyn, here's mine. As I'm maturing, I'm thinking, oh, but I may not be alive next year. I better go. Something may happen. We've had so many losses in our family that's a reality.
Right.
But it does not have to drive my decisions, like right now, putting me in situations that I'm really not happy with. And I too have been on the other side, but I've learned this. Start to respect what other people are feeling around doing an activity. In the past, I've been like the Bonnie, oh, come on, you got to go. Oh, come on, my gosh, you're always in the house. Come on and go. You didn't go. And the person comes and they're miserable. They just kind of like rain this whole negativity over the whole event. That at one event, someone asked me, why did you even bother to bring her? It's like, because I thought she needed it. So that's just saying, honor yourself, also honor the other person. And
yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And not dragging them along.
And you talked about grief points. And I think if you're really doing the work, wanting to get through, wanting to release something for good, not just for the season and then come back to it the next season. I love what you were saying about grief points. And like, I think, if we can sit with a grief point, or if we find the grief point, really being able to figure out, some kind of release or healing or, forgiveness around it, or, letting go of the expectation, whatever that is. But I like that, because I think all of it has a grief point. You know, like you said, I'm going to miss out on this. Whatever
Yeah.
that fear is, it's like, you know,
Whatever
you
that thing is.
yeah.
And I feel this is really wonderful, Robyn. This conversation is wonderful because how many people can you have this conversation with? Who can you really talk to? Or not only that, is there a space that's made for this type of conversation at this particular time of the year? And I'm just loving it. I'm just loving it because I think by us having this conversation, it encourages others to also have that conversation. And I did want to touch on some other points of moving through the holiday, moving through some activities and events. Is there anything coming up that you're either looking forward to or not looking forward to? Yeah, we can go with both.
Well, it's the same event, really. It's just the whole season. I mean, I'm looking forward to the holidays, to Christmas, to that time of the year, and the one reason I know it's going to be different is because I'm not going to be in my house. I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in another place, which means automatically by default, I have to let go of being able to multitask and do many things at one time because it's not my house. It's not my, usually I can go to my pile of things to do or my, go-to list or, something here. But it's like on some level, I'm going to have to be open to what's happening because it's a whole new place. And, like Gil is a master, as Bonnie has said, he'll be speaking on Christmas and, it's a whole new set of family in terms of a church congregation and things like that. So there's a part of me that's, excited about that in that I don't feel like I have as much responsibility.
Oh, yeah, there is that. There is that. Yes.
And on the other hand, I have more responsibility because I show up and I'm the wife and I'm the new person. And I know people are looking at, the minister's wife and this, you know what I mean? But there's that. But, I don't have to sign up to do the candle lighting and the this and the that and the things that happen here or, so I'm looking forward to the holidays. And after this conversation, I'm also looking I'm really thinking about, so what do I need? What do I need during this time? How can I, let go? Because I think, as I told you a little bit about before, I do have, it comes to this time and there's a part of me that goes, okay, it's Christmas, which is I'm prepared to be disappointed, whatever, because it's never what I wanted to be, and which isn't even really true, but it's true in that, I don't want people on Christmas Eve to be going, okay, I just got to run out and buy one more thing.
Oh, yes. Well, we've moved beyond that.
But I mean, getting caught up in that thing. And I really, my love language is presents and gifts and that kind of thing. I love it, whether you make them, whether you buy them, I don't care. I just like I just like giving. I like giving them. It's not that I necessarily have to receive them. I just like it. And so sometimes it just feels out of whack. So I'm looking forward to really asking the question, what do I need and how can I make that work and not walk away from the season wishing it, had happened a different way or thanking God that it's, 350 days away again.
Right, Robyn. I was going to say, back to, not being in your own environment at Christmas is for me, a little unusual because I can't really do whatever it is I want to do, I feel like. I mean, if I was in Mexico and I could just, lay out on the sofa if that's all I wanted to do, or walk outside and sit at the park if that's what I wanted to do. But here, being with family, there's a different expectation.
Right.
So my point of self-care that I've decided this next month is only doing things that really excite me. Only doing things that really excite me. And that has given me a sense of relief, a sense of space around activities. We're here in the Bay Area, both Robyn and I've seen this advertisement on television it's called Enchantment. It's a lighted, a festival, a festival in San Jose of lights, and it looks beautiful. I've never wanted to do that in my entire life. It's like, oh my gosh, this is something new. That excites me. So I just offer that to people. Find something that excites you to be involved with for the holiday.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. Please go, and then I'll bring my point back. I'll come back.
Because I was going to say, to your point, and, when you said, you can't go out to the park, or you can't lay on the couch because you want to, there's a part of me that goes, is that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
What if you did? What if you, go, I'm going to the park? Or what if you said, let's all go to the park? And it's kind of creating that new tradition. I mean, I think there's balance in all of it. What a person will know what is right for them to do or to try, but I mean, how fabulous to say, I'm gonna go see the lights. Let's go see the lights. Mm-hmm. And like you said, you begin to create new traditions and new possibilities.
Yes. And this is in creating a new tradition. My mother's birthday was on Christmas Day.
Wow.
And my mom died 5 years ago. That every year has been a new creation. Every year has been creating something new, or I was going to say trying to find our way without that being the focal point of my mom. The first thing you do on Christmas Day, you had to call her right away, and you could not say Merry Christmas. You had to say Happy Birthday first, and then move into Merry Christmas. And you had to have 2 gifts, not 1, but 2. She felt so cheated and so robbed that she was born on Christmas Day. And, I can laugh now about it. But as we approach, even just starting to think about it, it's, some sadness that comes with that, some deep sadness that she won't be here. So finding ways to still honor her on her birthday. And so I said, what I could do is to celebrate a birthday. I don't even have to tie Christmas into it. I could just say, oh, it's my mom's birthday, and that's our celebration. So, and I know there will be so many people out there that will be grieving and lonely for their loved one. So do you have any family members that you're remembering more at this time of the year? Or is that not a truth for you?
No, I do. I miss my parents.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a sister that passed. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's always, there's a part of it that lives as a what was and what has been. And there's a part of it that lives as what would be, if everyone's here, if we were all together, and all of that, what it would look like. And
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's definite sadness,
Mm-hmm.
and sadness for some families that we aren't we don't talk to. You know, not
That
even those that are gone, but those that aren't, I know, that aren't physically around because they're not in the same, we're just not in sync right now. Or,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think, other family that, like our other kids that are grown and with their own kids and doing their own thing. And, there's a loss of all of that. I think it's, as brilliant a time as it is, it's like it seems to somehow bring up what's missing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. That can really be a insight into some other aspects of even yourself or that relationship, to really be allowed to give it some energy and really think it through. I have a couple people that I would love to have at Christmas dinner, but that's not going to happen.
Right.
And just loving them. I called it loving them, sending them light, love. It allows me to even evaluate the relationship.
Right.
And for me, just bringing my attention to it. Sometimes it's all that's needed, just that awareness. Sometimes the not acknowledging what's really going, oh, I'm not going to think about that. I'm not going to go there. For me, that can be even more stressful than just giving it its space and place. Letting it have the microphone for a minute.
I love that.
Let it have the microphone and speak. You'll be surprised as to what can come up, what insights you can have when you allow that to happen. A lot of things happen from suppressing it so much. A lot of the tension.
Yeah, I think that's I think it's brilliant to really acknowledge it. And I know that we as metaphysicians and spiritual people, we have, we go to prayer and we go to meditation and we do all that and journaling and I think it's really a great to create a ritual like we've talked about, and really sit and hold the vision. Be the first thing that came up for me was what we call visioning, but really going to holding that vision and naming our people and just sending them love and blessing them, like you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that is I think it's a way of being connected, even when we feel disconnected.
Yes. And what does connection look like? It's not necessarily always physically being together. So right. What does connection really look like? That's a question that you can just ponder and be with. What does that look like and feel like for you? I always say paint the picture for you, though, with your truth. Before the show, Robyn, I was asking you about some questions that we could try on. So what I'll do, if that's okay with you, I'd love for you to just take a situation that you look forward to, or one that you don't look forward to. It'll be your choice. And the idea, I'll just read this, is the idea is to have a plan. That's my go-to. That's my number one thing to do, is to have a plan, so that the holiday doesn't catch you. Whatever, if whatever holiday really triggers you, have a plan for it, because that gives you some control back. So that's why I said the bottom line is to make a plan. And of course, the plan won't necessarily take away your total grief, any of that, but it will give you a place to start to forestall a little bit of the difficulty or angst that can come up because you have a plan. And also, it just we love that word control. Give you a sense of being in control of what's happening around you. So here's the question. Here are the questions, Robyn and Anne. Okay, the first one is, okay, this year I will miss. This year I will miss.
Well, it's you know, I don't
Thank
know.
you.
I feel like this year, having this conversation, I really feel like this year I will miss nothing.
Oh, what?
I feel like it's a declaration because I've just gotten these tools, and I don't mean to, I'm not trying to poo-poo anyone's grief or anything, but I feel like even just this little bit of conversation makes me feel like I really can shift things if I need to.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, well, what will I miss not being at home? Da, 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 da. And I was like, not really. I don't have to.
Yes.
It doesn't be that way. So I feel like this year I will miss nothing.
Okay, great then. Okay, the next. Okay, so this year I fear. Is there anything you fear? This year I fear.
I fear that my time. Well, I was going to say that my time away won't be enough with my husband, and then that made me think of money, and then I went to my fear of like, oh, I won't be working here. So the momentary fear was that somehow the finances would be affected because I'd be gone longer.
Right. So, thank you. So this year I wish that. This year I wish that.
This year I wish that I truly wish that everyone feels fed and taken care of, and like it's not a stress or a strain trying to get things together and make it work for kids or or family, or that's what I feel like. I mean I
wish, yes.
Yeah, I wish it can just be perfect.
And so therefore I plan to. So the question is, this year I will miss, this year I fear, this year I wish that, so I plan to.
Right. So I plan to really utilize what we're talking about. I mean, to really take the time to voice what I need and to look at how to get it without coming from a space of, well, and for lack of a better word, I'm going to say a martyr space, like, oh, nobody knows what I need, because there's, I'm still recovering from those, finding my knight and shining armor who rides off, who rescues me and knows exactly what I need and is there. And, so it's like when my husband doesn't know exactly what I need, I'm like, oh, if he really loved me, he would. If he really knew me, la, 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 which I know isn't necessarily true, but it's like that feeling of when you just want someone to know, you just want someone to get it. And so I think my goal is to try to not live from that space and really make sure that I'm, on some level making it known what I need. Like the other day I was thinking, Nobody's even asked me for my Christmas list.
Oh, Robyn, well, what's your Christmas list? No.
But I mean, no one's asked me because we don't really do Christmas lists. We've never done Christmas lists. But in my mind, I have a Christmas list this year. And so people should want to know what I really want instead of just trying to figure out, you know what I mean? So there's those little things hanging on to, I think, in my head about whatever, how Christmas should have been when I was younger, or what happens at Christmas, or, you know, some fairy tale movie. And it's like, I think so. The answer is I'm going to really try to live from that place of being able to just express what I need and not expecting anyone to know.
Yes. Yes.
And being grateful that they're loving me the way that they can, and they are, you know, and not expecting it to be different, because, you know, I know everybody loves me and that they're my family, and so why doesn't it look like this? And I think I'm going to just really be vocal about, okay, everyone, here's my Christmas list.
Here's your, oh, that's good. I like that, Robyn. Asking for what you need, and here's my list, because you need that. As you said, they're not asking.
Yeah, and here's what I want to do when we're in New Mexico, and all of that, and being able to really stand in my no.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think is important, because, you know, when I start to travel down that road of doing what everybody else wants, then it's like, oh yeah, Christmas isn't about me, it's about them, and blah, 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 you know.
Right.
So standing in my power, I mean, everything that we've talked about today, I think, is something I'm going to take away into that conversation with myself, and
yes.
with maybe even having a conversation with Gil beforehand, with my husband beforehand, you know, and us having a conversation, because I know every year it starts out with, I say something about Christmas and he knows I'm disappointed already. And he's like, I don't know how to help. You're already disappointed. You know, so it's like this expectation we've already had this season. It's not, he said it to me like a couple weeks ago, you know, so it's like he's set up, he's wired for the disappointment, which, you know, ensures, you know what I mean? It's a spiral. So
disappointment, yeah.
I'm going to break the pattern is what I would like to believe I'm going to do.
Great. Oh, Robyn. Wow. You're just causing me to think, you know what, I'll do this exercise as well, so that you can hear, or people can hear how it flows from me and from you. So this year I will miss not giving a holiday party. I love having a holiday party. I just love to entertain. So this year I will miss that. This year I fear nothing. Real. When I think about it, I fear nothing. Or maybe I'll phrase it this way. This year I fear that I can't even say that. I'll say what I was going to say, but it's not true. This year I fear that I will give myself away to please others. That I will do things that I have no desire to do because I want to make sure everybody's happy. But I'm glad I'm saying it, because it's allowing me to see the truth of that statement. And this year I wish that I could wake up and it was January 2nd. So I plan to only do those things that bring me joy. So only things that bring me joy. And so I so appreciate you, Robyn, for being so vulnerable to answer those questions on the spot like this, and just gives me permission to speak my truth as well.
Well, and when you say things that only bring you joy, does that mean if you want to lay on the couch, you're going to say, I'm going to lay on the couch?
Yes, I was going to say, sitting in front of the fireplace, wiggling my toes, that brings me joy.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, I know, going to a big party and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to force myself to. No, just whatever I'm doing, to find the joy in it, to find the joy. That's mine to do. And joy can be something very simple, like sitting here with a hot cup of cocoa.
Right.
So,
playing that slot machine in Vegas.
That's going to happen. That's going to be on my bucket list. That's just one of my favorite fun places to be. I was in Vegas once and I heard this gentleman say, "Oh, Vegas is just a big kid having fun." So that's what I feel like when I go to Vegas. I'm just a big kid having fun.
I'm with you.
Yeah, my Bonnie girl comes out and she just has fun. So, Robyn, I just thank you so much. Is there anything that you wanted to offer before we close? We're getting toward the end. Our time is ending. I do want to say that Robyn does have her program on Wednesday. She and her wonderful husband, Reverend Gill, 12 noon Pacific time. And it's called Rockin' the Love. So they'll be sharing, I'm sure, relationship ideas around the holiday, asking for your loved ones, wish list or gift list. Yes. Is there anything in closing? I just want to offer some things as well.
Okay. Really, the bottom line is, that is what our show is about, is relationship. And at the end of the day, all there really is love. And I just offer that here, that at the end of the day, what's coming up for me is a song that goes, so at the end of the day, can you love yourself enough to give yourself these gifts? And what's coming up is the song that goes, I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. And so it's like,
I love that.
Can we hold it? Can we be it? And really, it's not out there. It won't work out there till we fix it here. So I really appreciate and thank you, Bonnie, for just having this time to talk through, the little things that are lodged in me that, it feels like we got a little crowbar spatula to get them up, and now I can at least meet them head to head and just do it a different way. So I'm really grateful and appreciative, and I'm going to be looking for those grief points.
Oh, Robyn, this is just beautiful. Thank you for just echoing back what I feel, that it truly is an inside job. It starts inside. It's what we do, how we, even the thoughts that we hold, which in, Signs of Mine, it is about the mental equivalent of what we're holding up here. That's what gets projected out there. But I don't want to just have a cookie cutter answer for things, but just to say that self-care starts with really reflecting back inwards for your own care. What do you need? What do I want? How do I feel? Sometimes maybe I'll keep this in the eye, that I was socialized in a way to think about what you want, Robyn, or what everybody else wants. I was not socialized in a way to say, wow, Bonnie, what do you want? Someone gave me a bookmark once that said, the very best thing you can do for the planet is to take the very best care of yourself. And that's what I want to offer going into preparing for the holiday season. Just take the very best care of yourself.
Yes.
Then it radiates out. That expression of giving from your overflow and not your deficit. So
yes,
the more you care for you, the more you have to give to others. Oh, Robyn Rice Olmstead, you are just magnificent. I thank you so much for being here today. This is really just what I had hoped for, just what I had hoped for, to shine that light inward a little bit more. So thank you again. I'm Bonnie Gonzalez, your doula for grief. I am a grief coach. Reach out this holiday season. Reach out if you find yourself in need, or even if not, just reach out. Be there for someone else and allow others to be there for you. So thank you. I'll see you next week, and we'll see you also on Rockin' the Love on Wednesday. So enjoy. Thank you so much. Ooh, I love the little heart. Ciao, ciao. Thank you. See you next time.
On behalf of everyone at New Thought Media Network, thank you for being a member of our virtual family. Your financial contributions help share the New Thought message with people from around the world. Please visit and contribute at www.ntmedia.org/donate. New Thought Media Network, come be you. And please, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace and blessings.